Hey, I enjoy so much beginning my day with you all. It's just a great way to start the day. It makes the rest of the day go so well for me. So, good morning, everyone. Welcome to LisaBug Yoga for Resilience. And came to class last week. We talked a little bit about the definition of resilience, but I want to remind you that it is the capacity to withstand or to recover quickly from difficulties. It's also known as toughness. So it's also the ability of an object, which is going to be us, to spring back into shape, meaning elasticity. So we're going to be working on resilience. The four types of resilience are physical, that's our body's ability to spring back. Also emotional. So if we have something go on in our life where it really does hit our emotions, we're able to bounce back from that. Our mental or cognitive resilience, and then also our social resilience, those relationships we have with our family, our partners, our friends, all of that is wrapped up into resilience. So we are going to start with our lymphatic warm up. And I'm going to give you the option to do some of these either without or with weights eventually. So I have close by my light 2 pound hand weights. Actually, I'm going to put them right in front of me so I can grab those in a second. I like to put my ball on top of those so it doesn't run away. So, what we start typically with our lymphatic warm up is just a little bit of hopping. So, I just want you to just start to bend the knees a little bit and bounce. Don't worry about coming away from the floor yet. And just start to move your body, maybe side to side a little bit with your arms, up and down. And then eventually start lifting your heels up and down off the floor. And I want you to feel that light little impact of your heels into the floor. And hopefully that's okay for you, Liz, this morning, but do what you can. So, what I want you to think about is as we bounce into the floor and we strike our heels down into the earth, it sends a little shock wave up our skeleton. And our bones go, oh, okay, we need to strengthen now because we're doing this thing that challenges our bones and we need them to be strong. So we're working on resiliency of our skeletal system, of our bones. Let's do about another 10 seconds here. You can even completely jump off the floor if you want. Just make these little small ones. Nice posture. Okay, let's relax with that. Just notice how that changed the way your energy is already in your body. We're going to go into the body wave, and I'm going to add a little bit of a variation with this. So I want you to lift your arms up, push your hips forward, and do a little bit of a back bend, and then come forward and reach the arms back behind you. And then adding a rhythm to this, take a nice big inhale with your back bend, and then go exhale. Big inhale, slow back bend. Exhale. Now the back bend is small. We're just warming up, so I don't want you to feel any stress in your lumbar spine. But we're coming from spinal extension to spinal flexion. And I want you to exhale through your mouth. So we're just getting some CO2 out of the lungs. We do this with our breath of joy. Let's do 2 more body waves. And 1 more. Come up and pause. Check in. I just want you to bend your knees down and up, and then get into a rhythm with your arm swings. So bend, bend, bend. So the way we've been doing this one is just stationary squat position. So I'm adding a variation with this for some knee bending. So we're warming up the lower body a little bit and also just gently working our quads. And then if you want, you can just start to switch your body from side to side, just a little bit of a twist. and you're turning toward the side that the arm is going back. So when your right arm is in front and your left arm is back, you're looking to the left. It should feel pretty natural. Good. Let's do about another 10 seconds here. Still bending your knees down and up. Couple more each side. Great job. And relax. Nicely done. Okay, start to move into dead arms. So take your feet a little wider and start to bend one knee, the other knee. You're slightly lifting your heel up off the floor. And then as you twist your body, your arms are like limp noodles. And you're just letting them slap along the sides of the body. Slap, slap. One slaps to the front, one slaps to the back. And you can choose to keep your head forward and not turn your head, or you can turn your head side to side. You could even turn your head the opposite direction the way your body's going. So maybe try that. As you're going to the right, look over your left shoulder, and that gives you some nice movement through your neck. Good. 10 seconds here. Dead arms is the movement. Check in on your posture, nice and long through the crown of the head. All right, last one. And relax. Great job. Bring your feet back together. We're going to do a high knee march, bringing one knee up and the other knee up. Good. Now take the arms out to the side, and I want you to do the opposite hand reaching to the front. Opposite. Opposite. Good. So we're bringing some balance in here. And you can challenge your balance a little more if you twist with that opposite reach. Rotating one shoulder and the other shoulder. Great. Now make sure for any balance exercises you're using any aids that you might need to use. Just gently, maybe having your fingers on a chair, something like that. It's a great idea. And last 3 each side. And 2. And 1. Good. Take your feet wide. We'll do our golf swing. And the variation we're going to do with this today is as you bring your arms up, I want you to tap the armpit underneath your arm and then tap the other armpit. So we have some lymph nodes in this area. So we're going to get the flow, and then we can add some bending of the knee and get your lower body involved. Now start to turn your spine side to side, reaching up. Maybe look up toward that top arm. And that tap under the arm, you can kind of vary where you're placing the hand. Maybe you're going to bring it to the side of the rib, up underneath the tricep a little bit. Great job. And as always, modify these any way you need to. Adjust them to suit your body, especially with range of motion. Last 3 each side. And 2. And 1. And relax. Step your feet back in a little bit. Great job. Come down into a nice squat. Bring the hands and fold them across each other. So right arm is on top. Start your twist side to side. At any pace you want to go. And I want you to keep everything from your waistline down really solid. Maybe you're not turning your head if you're feeling a little bit dizzy with this. Good. Now pause in the middle. Switch the hand that's on top. I know that feels different. And rotate side to side. Where are you feeling your body really working and moving? Should be toward that lower part of your thoracic spine. Your lumbar spine doesn't twist much. So it's not really in your low back, but your low back is working. Okay, relax and come up. Great job. Take your feet really wide. I'm going to do a 5-pointed star and then reach the left hand across toward the right foot, and then 5-pointed star and across. Now, if your flexibility is pretty tight in your hamstrings, maybe you're just bringing your hand here. You don't have to go all the way down to the floor. I want you to do what feels best for your body. And then you're breathing. We're going to inhale, 5-pointed star. Exhale across. This is our starfish twist. Getting a nice stretch down the posterior chain. 5. 4 more each side. Great job. Maybe you're growing that range of motion. 3. And 2. And 1. And relax down. Okay, step your feet back together. We're going to use our light hand weights here. As an option, you don't have to. Bend your knees down and up. We're going to go a little slower than we did when we did our arm swings in the warm-up. So we're bending and straightening. And then I want you to reach one hand to the front, one hand behind you. So one arm is doing an anterior delt raise, while the other arm's doing a posterior delt raise. When we did these earlier in class, we also added rotation. So you can look over the shoulder of the arm that's going back. And again, the weights are not real heavy, and they're just an option to use. But I do feel the difference just with 2 pounds, strengthening, working on resiliency of the shoulders. And I feel my heart rate coming up and my body temperature. 3 more each side. 2. 1 more each side. And come up. Okay, make sure you have some room to step behind you. I'm going to move my black blanket a little bit. You can turn long ways on your mat if you'd like. Then we're going to take the arms slightly out to the side, cross the right arm on top, and then out, cross the left arm on top. Now it's up to you how high you bring your arms up. So those of you that have shoulder issues, maybe you don't even use weights. Or if you feel pretty good, you can have your arms up a little higher. Just a couple more. Just want you to get you introduced to this movement. And relax. Good. I'm getting a text. I want to make sure it's not from any of you. It's from Joyce. Okay, she's having trouble logging in. She said she's going to watch later on YouTube. Okay, so now we'll step our right foot back, left foot forward, just a short stance, warrior 1. Bring the arms forward. Inhale, open. Exhale, cross. And you're going to alternate the cross of the arms. Good. So your option to stay in warrior 1, or we're going to shift our body weight with the back foot coming forward and back. So as the arms crisscross, step in, step back, step in. The same leg's going to go back each time. Then you can decide if you want to step it back even further and maybe drop it down into a high crescent lunge where you're off the ball of the foot. It's going to be a little bit more challenging. Let's do 4 more with that right foot moving. Keep switching the arms, cross and 2 and 1. Relax your arms, maybe a couple little shoulder rolls. If your weights are heavy, this is going to be really challenging. Okay, take your foot back on the left side, short stance warrior 1. There should be some separation between your feet, and then we'll cross and open. Whatever height feels okay for you for your shoulders. And you can stay as is or challenge your balance by stepping forward as the arms cross. And back as they open. Good. And just breathing wherever your body says it feels okay for you to breathe. I usually like to inhale when my body's opening. So that would be when the arms are coming out. And then exhale. Those shoulders are really starting to feel the work. Let's do 4 more. With or without the weights is great. 3, 2, and 1. Relax. Let's set our weights down. We'll take a stretch. It's one that we've done quite often. So you'll step that left foot back into your warrior 1. Turn your foot forward. Press your heel down into the floor. Bring the right arm across to stretch the deltoid and look over your right shoulder. So this gives us a calf stretch. It opens up the hip flexor on the back leg. And then we stretch through the shoulder and the upper back and the neck. Good. Let's release that and take a little side stretch over to the right side. This is even going to further open up this hip flexor here. Take some generous breaths in and out. Oh, I feel my toes wanting to grip into the mat as I'm stretching to the side, changing my body's center of gravity. Okay, let's release that. Let's take our stretch on the other side. Take a nice step back, press your heel down, and then we'll bring that, let's see, left arm across. Look over the left shoulder, breathing. So starting from your foot, feel a little stretch down the back of your right ankle, up your right calf, and then the front of your right hip, the side of your left shoulder and upper back, the muscles of your neck. Okay, let's release that. Now the right arm comes up and over. Ooh, little balance check. Opening up the side waist, the front of the right hip, up through the lats on that right side. The core is really working here. All right, release and step in. Now I'd like for you to find your heavy resistance band. You will need something to hold on to for balance with your right hand, wall or a chair. And I want you to hold on to that resistance band and put your foot through it and then just stretch it down. Now hopefully it's not too tight that you can't reach it to the floor. So this is kind of the sign for what kind of strength in the band that you need. And we are going to lift the leg forward, around, and down. Forward, around, down. I'm letting my leg do the work, but my arm is going along for the ride. It's helping me stabilize. And I want you to feel the inner thigh working a little bit as you come right here and pull down. Now your stabilizer leg, that right leg's going to get a fair amount of work through the hip. So we're working on resiliency of the hip. Good. Now as you bring it around and out to the side, hold it here and bend your knee and push and stretch the band. So we bend and push. Good. exhale. So you're using your outer thigh muscles to keep the leg lifted. The strap is helping with that a little bit. And then we're bending and pushing to activate the quad. So medial glute, quadricep working. Good, let's do 2 more here. And 1 more. Then bring that leg back around to the front. Just hold it. You've got a little bit of a hamstring stretch. Point and flex your ankle. Point, flex. Now I just want you to barely use your aid for balance here. Check your posture. A little small softness in your right knee, so try not to lock out that joint. Now flex the foot and hold. Let's see if you can release the chair for just a couple of seconds. Whoop, that's about it for me, couple seconds. And then relax, bend the knees, slip the foot out of the strap. Now I'm going to bring my chair to the other side so that I can face you for the repeat on the other side. So holding that strap, place your foot in, straighten your leg down, get nice tall posture, maybe slightly turn your toes out a little bit. And we're going to lift the leg forward, out, pull down. So feel a little bit of resistance on the inner thigh as we pull. So this should be just nice mobility for the hip joint and for the hamstring. So you can lift that leg as high as you feel comfortable. Don't make it a really deep stretch. Just feel like it's a lengthening of that muscle. As you're bringing the leg back, use your glute, pull back. 3 more. Good. Lighten up your grip on your aid so you're just barely using it. Then we'll hold that leg out to the side, bend your knee, and push. So it's like a little bit of a half froggy press. Now make sure you're not leaning way over into your chair. So let's keep the chest up. You'll have a slight lean so you can bring your center of gravity over your left leg, but try not to bend at your waist. Inhale, exhale. 4, 3, and 2. Hold it here. Bring that leg back around to the front, and we'll point and flex. So the band is right about in the arch of my foot. You want to make sure that it's not going to slip off of your foot and come back and snap at you. 3. Good. Ankle mobility, activating the muscle pump. Now hold the foot flexed. Let's see if we can let go and do our balance pose. Great job. And bend the knee to release the strap. Excellent work. Okay, I'm going to bring my chair back to this side. Now we are going to do a standing pigeon. You can also do this sitting in your chair. It's a seated forward fold. So let's stand on our right foot. Bring the left ankle across the knee, and I just want you to open the foot out. So in these various positions, we're going to pause and just notice what we're feeling. If you're sitting in your chair, you just bring the foot up to cross over the top of the knee, and then you sit. Now, all I want you to do if you're standing is start to bend your right knee. Keep your chest up until you feel a stretch in your right ankle. Hold it. So it should be down in that right foot, behind the ankle in the Achilles tendon area and the soleus. And then we'll take the upper body and we'll begin to fold down any amount. This starts to get the stretch into the hip, and then hold there. And maybe you can release your hand away from the chair for a moment. Or if you're sitting, you don't have to worry about the balance piece. Just get yourself a nice stretch. This is similar to pigeon, but in pigeon pose, we don't get the benefit of what's going on in the standing ankle and the strength that we're building in our right quad and glute. Okay, press yourself up and relax. Good. When we're working balance, we're working on resiliency of usually the hips, ankles, and feet, and of the core. So let's bring the opposite foot up and just stand and hold. So I'm doing muscle action with the back of my right glute by trying to pull the knee out to the side. So I do have some effort going on there. Just a little bit of assistance on the chair. Then all we're going to do is bend the left knee down till you feel the work and the stretch. So the stretch is behind that left ankle. The work is in your quad, right? Yeah, we're feeling that, and it's isometric. And then take your upper body and start to go forward, 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 until now the right hip says, ooh, that's a nice stretch. And it doesn't have to be intense to be beneficial. You might say, well, my hips are pretty flexible. I'm not really feeling this. Then what you want is to attain all the other benefits you're getting from activating the muscles in your standing leg, keeping your core engaged and your breathing. Maybe you can let go of the chair. I'm not going to do it on this side because it's the knee that needs to be replaced. I need that extra little help. Okay, let's come on up and relax. Okay, give yourself a minute to get down onto the floor. And as I mentioned at the beginning of class, if you need something to sit on, please do that. A big blanket or a pillow or your yoga block. And then what I want you to have close by is your block itself. So if you're sitting on it, you won't have it. You'll have it underneath you. And your Pilates ball. So just get into a nice, comfortable position, sitting tall. And I want you to feel both of your sitting bones grounded into the earth. The ball is underneath your left hand. Now, we've been doing some things with the ball, pushing, and sometimes that flexion of the wrist is really intense. So when you put it over to the side, try not to flex your wrist, but keep your wrist pretty straight and take your wrist itself onto the ball, and we'll side stretch over, and I want you to push down into the ball with your left arm. So we're doing an isometric exercise for the left tricep because I'm pushing down really solid into the ball. This could be considered, and probably is considered, an overcoming isometric because to a big degree, it's a non-moving object that we're pushing into. Even though it does have some give, it can't really go anywhere. Once we push it as hard as we can, it's not going to go down through the floor, right? So we're really feeling that overcoming isometric. All right, let's come back up and relax. We'll switch the ball over to the other side. And again, I'm not pushing to where my wrist is flexing. I'm keeping my wrist pretty straight, pushing down into the ball right next to the side of my body. Take a side bend. That's going to help your elbow bend more. And then push down. Now, at the same time, you're activating this arm and your shoulder. Feel underneath your armpit, your lat muscle working. And I want you to keep your left sitting bone down. So we're not trying to rock over to go further. We're just pushing, overcoming isometric here. Opening up the sideways, keep breathing. Maybe a little bit of a bucket handle breath in that left rib. Good. One more breath. And then come up. So what we're going to do is pass the ball above the head or in front of the body. Bring it to the other side. Give it a push and stretch. And you're going to find a rhythm to do this. Push and stretch. So instead of holding like an isometric, you're getting a shorter overcoming isometric. So not holding it very long. So it's more like a repetition. And we'll add the breath with this. So we'll inhale as we pass, exhale and push. Now remember, don't forget the side bend because that's a piece. Good. Let's do 3 more each direction. And we're working on a little bit of agility of our fingers because we have to pick it up and squeeze it slightly as we're passing the ball. And you can bring it here. Good job. Press, press, press. 1 more each side. Side stretch, push. And relax. Great job. Bring your feet in front of you with your knees bent a little bit. I'm going to turn to the side so you can see the back side of my body. And then I'd like for you to take your yoga block and put it between your knees so you have something to press into. Now, if you're sitting on your block, you'd prefer to be sitting on it, you can just try to push your legs together so you do have some adduction work, and we're going to put the ball behind the lower back here. So this is going to give us a little bit of support. And this is our boat pose for the day. So the ball is supporting the low back, our knees are squeezing in to the block, and then we can try lifting one leg off the floor, 1 foot, and then the other foot. Now, even though we have the ball behind us, we're not letting it completely support our upper body weight, right? So we still have a ton of core activation here. 5 seconds, 4, 3, 2, and 1, and come up, grab that ball. Great. Okay, I want you to come to your hands and knees, and you can use either your block or your ball for this next little sequence. But since we have our balls, I'm going to use my ball. Padding for your knees if you need to here. Hands and knees. And then take the block or the ball under your right hand, and I want you to do a child's pose or a puppy pose. So the right arm is lifted higher than the left. This is giving the right shoulder a bit more of a stretch. If your head doesn't come all the way down, that's okay. You can be up here. And then on a scale of 1 to 10, I want you to push down into that ball at about a 3. So just give it a little press and hold. It's a little bit of an overcoming isometric, but not at full strength. One more breath. Great. And then walk yourself up. Switch that ball to the left hand, or your block can work as well. Stretch out into your child's pose. Whoa, I just really feel the difference in that stretch through the left side pec muscle and lat. Then on a scale of 1 to 10, push down into the ball at about a 3. Just give it a press. Just enough to activate the muscles, but mine are shaking. Keep an even, steady breath moving. One more breath. And come all the way up. Okay, we're going to move into a side plank. So I'm going to bring, you can either do the same side I'm on or you can mirror me so you're facing forward and looking at your screen. So I have my left knee down, but to your side it's the right. And then I'm just barely going to put my fingers on the floor, take the ball, sweep it up until I have a good stretch here, and then pull my body up into gate pose, reaching the ball to the outside of the leg. And then side stretch, bring the ball as far as you can over, pull it up. Now take advantage of holding the ball and squeeze your fingers. Squeeze your thumb, strengthening the muscles of your hands. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Let's do one more complete repetition. Then come into your side plank position and hold the arms straight up. I want you to reach the ball and try to put it underneath your armpit and look behind you. And then open it back and pull the ball back behind. So you're stretching through the front of the shoulder. And reach it under. You could even do this without touching your hand at all. That's a lot on the core, but I don't want you to rely on your wrist to support you here. Just gently tenting your fingertips. Keep squeezing the ball with all the fingers. One more time. And then hold it up. 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, and pull yourself up. Great job. Adjust to coming to the other side. I'm going to keep facing you, so I'll switch this way. So I have my right knee down, but looks toward the camera like it's your left side. This is our gate pose position. This leg is kind of like a kickstand. We are going to stretch the ball, bringing that arm close to the ear if you can, really opening up the side waist, then using your core, your obliques and your QL muscle on this side of the body here. You're stretching first, and then you're strengthening. Now squeeze the ball with all your fingers. And think about each one. I'm going to start with my pinky finger. Push your pinky finger into the ball. Then push your ring finger. That's supposed to be the weakest one from what I heard. Ladies, when you put your eye cream on, you're supposed to use your ring finger. My Mary Kay lady told me that when I was about 16. Okay, middle finger, push it, that middle finger. And then the index finger. And then push in with your thumb. Stretch and pull up. This will be your last one. Push in with all fingers and the thumb. Then hold here. Inhale. Exhale, reach the ball, try to push it through the armpit space. Then as you open, rotate your shoulder back. Any comfortable range of motion for you. Inhale as we're open. Exhale as we close. Not a lot of pressure on your hand. You can come up onto your knuckles. Make a fist for wrist. Good. And one more time. Then reach it up, hold, maybe take your hand away, 5 seconds, 4, 3, squeeze the ball, 2, and 1, and pull yourself up. Great job. Let's come on to our backs. And I would like for you to have your heavy resistance band. I'm going to give you plenty of time to get prepped into position. So heaviest resistance band that you can comfortably use around your thighs. And this is going to be on the upper thighs, just above the knees. And then you have the option to use your ball. We did this last week, and so have that close to you, and then let's come on down. So bring your feet about hips distance apart, and I want you to push out into the band, and I want this to be hard enough that you can't just splay your legs out. I want you to feel like you really can't move that band very much. It's just a little bit of range of motion. You're activating the outer thigh and hips. You're slightly rolling your body weight to the outside of your foot and then to the inside of your foot. Good. 2 more. Press and in. 1 more. Press and in. Now, adding a baby bridge. We'll lift the hips any amount off the floor. Hold. I want you to feel the work you already have here and push out and in. Out and in. Now, using the ball for some resistance, go ahead and pick that up. Place it between the palms of the hands. Fingertips are open. As you press the legs out, push into the ball and then release. So the work happens at the same time. You're pushing out with the legs and in on the ball. And the ball is right about in the center of my chest. That's where we'll put our exhale. Push, 5. Push, 4. Exhale, 3. Exhale, 2. And 1. Great job. Relax down for a moment. Bring your feet just a tiny bit closer together. Lift up into your bridge. And we're going to do a marching bridge. So your right foot's going to come off the floor and down, and then your left and down. So you'll notice how this is more challenging when you march the feet to keep your hips stable and level. Then each time a knee up comes up, push into the ball and release. Push and release. Let's get 4 more on each leg. 1. 1. You can do this with your hips down too if you're feeling it's a little bit too intense in the bridge. 2 more on each side. Press. Stretching the band a little. 1 more on each side. Great job. Now keep your hips up and see if you can slide the ball underneath your hips. If your ball is inflated too much, you might not be able to get it underneath your hips. Your block will work fine for this as well. Now do a marching bridge in a supported bridge. So this is going to feel completely different. We won't have to use the glutes quite so much, maybe the core a little bit. I feel like my balls are not quite in the center of my hips, So it makes a difference. I'll roll to one side. Maybe take your hands off the floor. 4. Great job. 3. 2 more. 1 more on each side. Really engage through the abs. Great. Okay, just stay in your supported bridge. Or if it's not feeling comfortable under your back, don't worry about it and extend your right leg straight forward. So you can be just flat on the floor as well. And we're going to press the leg out a little and in. So we're going outer thigh back in, pushing against the band. And if you don't have a band, this is still a lot of work. And I'm having to use my hands a little bit into the mat to stabilize. We have 3 more. And 2. And 1. Set that foot back down. Now, anytime we're on the ball, it creates an unstable surface, right? That's why those big balls are called stability balls. So extend your left leg out. So it is a moving surface, so it gives us more of a challenge through our abdominals. But without it is a great exercise as well, either with your hips on the floor or on your yoga block. And we have 4. Slow and steady movement. 3. 2. And 1. Come back down. Then lift your hips up away from the ball. Slide it out. It's getting stuck to my shorts. And then down. And I just want you to hug your knees up to your chest. You can even put the ball between your knees. Hug the knees here. Now, keeping the band on, or if you don't have it on, that's okay too. We're going to do clamshell. So what I want you to do is roll over onto your side. You can use your ball as a pillow. This is kind of cool. Or you can use the ball in front of you to push your hand down into the ball. So I'm going to make a pillow with my blanket here. So this top hand, I'm going to push down. And again, try not to flex your wrist too much. Keep your wrist pretty straight and push down with your wrist rather than your palm. So if this feels okay for you, this is going to be an addition to our clamshell today. So push down and just hold it. And then we'll clamshell open and close. 10 reps. Your feet stay together. Your knees open against the band with a pause. And 7 more reps. Exhale, clamshell, push. Now I'm holding the ball push isometrically. You can also push and release each time you open the knees. 5. We're activating our pec muscle on that top arm and our tricep. 3. Your hips stay stacked, so try not to roll back toward your hip. 2. And 1. Great job. Now just hold on to the ball with your hands, straighten out the top leg, lift, and lower. So with the ball, we're going to stretch it up and bring it in. Stretch it up and bring it in. Now we can also add a bend of this top leg, bring it in. So you're extending it out and bringing it in. 5. 4, 3. Oh, I'm really feeling that top hip. 2 and 1. Great job. Relax. Take your time to get to the other side. If you want to just roll to your back, great. I'm going to keep facing the camera, so I'm going to swing all the way around. Stack your hips. Option to put the ball under your head for a little pillow, or put it in front of your chest and push into it. Once you have that, you can keep it steady for isometric, or you can push and release. We've got 10 clamshells. Keep your feet together. Open. 1. Oh boy, I can really tell I'm not doing enough of these. This feels like a really weak muscle for me, especially on this right side. 4. And this is an exercise that PTs give us a lot for hip issues. So it was something in my physical therapy for hip replacement for sure, but I think I need to do these a bit more. Keep pushing down into the ball or push release. We have 3 and 2 and 1. Extend that top leg out. We're just going to start with a lift and lower. And then as we lift, that arm reaches and we stretch. Look, my chair's in the way. And we bring the arm in. See, here we go. Stretch and bring it in. So you can do it with a straight leg, or we can bend the knee, bring it towards you, almost like you're bringing the elbow toward the thigh. Good. Breathing 6. Maybe squeezing the ball with your fingers. Always take that option. 5. 4. 3. 1 more time. And then relax. Great job. Just press yourself up, and we'll be removing the band, coming back to a seated position. Ooh, those hips felt like they got some good work. So now we're going to stretch them a little bit with a twist, and I still want you to have your ball available. So we're going to extend. How are we doing on time? 5 minutes. We're going to extend our right leg straight ahead. The left knee is bent here, or we can bring it across. And that to me gives a little bit better stretch here for the hip. We're just going to hug the knee in, look behind, and stretch. So our first set, just holding like this. Then we have the option on our second set on this side to add the ball. So come back around to the front. You're going to put the ball behind your body, and again, not flexing your wrist, but put your wrist itself on the ball back there. Twist and push down, down. You're pressing down into the floor behind you. 3 breaths. My muscle is shaken. 2 and 1. And relax. Great job. So as always, the ball is just an option. You don't have to do it. So let's try set 1 on the other side. Your foot either here or across. Hug that knee in. Sit really tall with your spine and look behind. Now I could push into the floor here, but I don't have very much room to bend my elbow very much, but that would be an option for sure. Or let's add the ball to it. The ball reaches behind. We lengthen our spine. We rotate and then push down into the ball. 3 slow breaths. Feel your tricep working, your lat. 1 more breath. Inhale. Exhale. Come back to the front. Come into a wide leg stretch, sitting up tall. Now, if you're feeling a pretty good stretch just as you are, don't worry about going forward, or you can bend your knees quite a bit. And we're just going to roll the ball forward till you feel your lower back kind of releasing a little, and then come up. And you can do this with straighter legs. So whatever your range of motion is, and this obviously can be done without the ball too, but I like to push down into it a little bit as I'm rolling it along the floor, getting a nice stretch. Dynamic, active flexibility. 3 more reps. And 2. And let's hold the last one wherever you feel comfortable. Soften the backs of the legs, posterior chain, the lower back, mid back, upper back. And roll it back in. You can sit cross-legged or any comfortable position as we bring the ball to the center of our chest in our Anjali Mudra. So we typically would press our palms together like so. We'll press into the ball, drive in with maybe a 3 to 4 on a scale of 1 to 10. Tip the right ear to right shoulder, left ear to left shoulder. And again, side to side. One more each direction. Back to the midline. We close our eyes, honoring today our hard work and our dedication to the health of our spirit, mind, and body, to the dedication we have to the LisaBug community, and the joy and resilience that resides within my heart honors the joy and resilience in the hearts of each of you. Namaste. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm so grateful for you and being with me every week. If you can stay for the chat, I'm always delighted. I'll get our recording shut off, and I'll see you in the next room in 2 shakes. Everybody.